In the gritty heart of Chicago, where survival trumped sentiment, a young woman scraping by on pennies paused to help a homeless man others ignored. Ellie Monroe, burdened by her own struggles, shared what little she had, unaware that her act of kindness would unravel a stranger's secret and transform her life. When a mysterious reward emerged from the shadows, Ellie faced a choice that could redefine her future. Proving that compassion can unlock doors no one sees coming, the wind whipped through Chicago's South Loop on July 29, 2025, carrying the chill of Lake Michigan past weathered storefronts and bustling commuters. Ellie Monroe, 24, hurried along Wabash Avenue, her worn sneakers slapping the pavement. Her threadbare coat barely shielded her from the cold, and her backpack sagged with textbooks from her part-time community college classes, working double shifts at a diner barely covered her rent in a cramped studio apartment, but Ellie's spirit remained unbroken, her warm, brown eyes always searching for light in the city's gray. Near a shuttered deli, she spotted a homeless man huddled beneath a tattered blanket, his cardboard sign reading, "Anything helps." His name, scrawled in marker, was Sam. His weathered face, framed by a graying beard, carried a quiet dignity despite his sunken eyes. Most passers-by ignored him, their gazes averted, but Ellie stopped. She'd seen him before, always in this spot, and something about his stillness tugged at her heart. "Hey, Sam," she said softly, kneeling beside him. "You okay?" Sam looked up, surprised, his blue eyes meeting hers. "Just cold," he rasped, his voice rough but kind. Ellie rummaged in her bag, pulling out half a sandwich from her diner shift. "It's turkey and cheese." "Not much, but it's yours." Sam hesitated, then took it, his hands trembling. "You don't have to," he said, but Ellie smiled. "I want to." A commuter, a man in a suit, sneered as he passed. "Wasting food on him? Get a job, lady." Ellie ignored him, sitting with Sam as he ate, asking about his day. He spoke little, mentioning a past in construction, but his gratitude was clear. "You're different," he said quietly. Ellie shrugged, her cheeks flushed. "Just trying to help." Back at her studio apartment, a dim, one-room space with peeling paint and a leaky faucet, Ellie counted her tips $12.47, not enough for next week's groceries. Her phone buzzed with a text from her boss, Tony. "Late again tomorrow, you're out," she sighed, rubbing her temples. Her dream of becoming a social worker felt distant, her college classes a slow grind. "One day at a time," she whispered, taping a photo of her late mother to the wall for strength. The next day, Ellie returned to Sam's spot, bringing a hot coffee and a scarf she'd knitted from thrift store yarn. "Thought you could use this," she said, wrapping it around his neck. Sam's eyes softened. "Why do you keep coming back?" he asked. Ellie shrugged. "You remind me of my mom. She always said kindness costs nothing but means everything." Over the next week, Ellie made a habit of checking on Sam, sharing snacks or spare change despite her own tight budget. Her co-workers at the diner, like Mia, 29, teased her. "You're broke, Ellie. Stop giving stuff away." But Ellie couldn't stop. Sam's stories of a daughter he'd lost contact with, of better days, stirred her empathy. She sensed he was more than he seemed, though she couldn't place why. One evening, a group of teens harassed Sam, kicking his sign and laughing. Ellie, just off her shift, ran over, shouting, "Leave him alone!" The teens scattered, but Sam's blanket was torn, his few belongings scattered. Ellie helped him gather them, her heart aching. "You don't deserve this," she said, her voice fierce. Sam gripped her hand, his eyes intense. "You're a good soul, Ellie. Don't ever change." One morning, Sam was gone. His spot by the deli was empty, his sign missing. Ellie's stomach dropped, fearing the worst. She asked nearby vendors, but no one knew anything. Probably moved on, a barista said dismissively. Ellie couldn't shake her worry, checking alleys and shelters, but Sam had vanished. Days later, a letter arrived at the diner, addressed to Ellie, the kind girl. By the deli. Inside was a handwritten note. Meet me at the Chicago Riverwalk, near the Clark Street Bridge, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Sam. Ellie's heart raced. Was he okay? Was this a trick? She tucked the note away, her curiosity outweighing her caution. The Riverwalk, the city glowed under twilight, the water reflecting skyscraper lights. Ellie, in her worn coat, spotted Sam, but he was different. His beard was trimmed, his clothes clean, a tailored jacket replacing his tattered blanket. Here stood with a woman in her 50s, elegant in a navy dress, her face warm but professional. Ellie, Sam said, his voice steady. This is Margaret, my lawyer. Ellie blinked, confused. Lawyer? Sam, what's going on? Sam smiled, his eyes bright. My name's not Sam, it's Samuel Whitaker, and I owe you an explanation. Samuel. Revealed he was a retired real estate magnate, once worth millions, who'd stepped away from his empire after losing his daughter to illness. Grief had driven him to live among Chicago's homeless, testing the city's heart. Most people walk by, he said. You didn't, you saw me, Margaret handed Ellie a folder. Inside was a scholarship fund, $100,000 for her education, and a job offer at a community center Samuel funded, focused on helping the homeless. You're meant for more than scraping by, Samuel said. This is my thank you. Ellie's hands shook, tears welling. I just gave you a sandwich, she stammered. Samuel chuckled. You gave me hope, Ellie. That's worth more than money. Her mind raced. The scholarship could finish her degree. The job could fulfill her dream. But doubt crept in could. She accepts such a reward? I didn't help you for this, she said, her voice firm. Samuel nodded. I know. That's why it's yours. Ellie returned to her apartment, the folder unopened on her table. She called Mia, spilling the story. Take it, Ellie, Mia urged. You deserve this. But Ellie wrestled with guilt. Had her kindness been pure if it led to such gain? She thought of her mother, who'd raised her to help without expecting reward. The next day, Ellie met Samuel at the community center, a modern building with warm lighting and bustling programs. She saw families receiving meals, kids in tutoring sessions, and felt a pull. I'll take the job, she said, but the scholarship, can it go to others here too? Samuel's eyes gleamed with pride. Done, he said. Ellie started. Work, her compassion guiding her as she connected with clients, her own struggles fueling her empathy. Word of her story spread on X with #ChicagoKindness trending. Samuel, now mentoring her, became a friend, their bond rooted in mutual respect. In Chicago's relentless pulse, Ellie Monroe's small act of kindness rippled outward, proving that a single gesture can rewrite a life and a city's heart.